Well, the concerns we had starting the game was, the physicality of SMU, and it proved tonight that we needed to do a better job, especially rebounding the ball. I got to give them credit because we had a chance to. Every time we made a run or we took the lead there, they had an answer for it. So but that's a sign of a veteran ball club, experienced ball club that's not going to panic, and you've got to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. And even though we did some good things, I thought, in the game, and I'm proud of how our guys competed because we were down with 5, and we didn't quit. Especially a kid like Jeremiah, he's got a lot of heart, a lot of toughness, but they all do. So, and we know we're playing them a lot of minutes, 4 guys, 40 minutes. I don't think it's ever happened in my coaching career. But that's, it's and the bench, the guys. And we just didn't have the physicality, I thought, of people coming in the game. Even at the end with Keon, we thought, he's about the only guy that physically can match up, and then he gives away so much height and size, and that was our biggest concern coming in, just their physicality. Any questions?
Coach, you started with the pressure to start the second half, which gave you a little momentum, and then you went on a 9-0 run and took the lead. Did you think you had turned the corner and you went on that 9-0 run? Yeah,
but they made a good coaching move there. They went to the zone. That 1-3-1 slowed us up because we were starting to get into our transition game, which is what we do best. And when we're not able to get in transition, we need to learn how to attack the zone. And what they did, they left Jeremiah open on a couple, and he just couldn't get it to drop on those threes. So that's and they're pretty long, pretty athletic, and they were able to cover. But the 1-3-1 gave us trouble, and I thought that's where we really lost that momentum.
With Chad Rockcook going down, you guys are really working with a shorter bench. I know you've been searching for consistency. You've been searching for consistency with guys off the bench. Craig Randall has seemed to become a guy that you really trust in. And Keon Clergeot had a big game the other night. Is there any reason why he only played 4 minutes tonight?
Well, I thought again, the physicality. Even though he's a physical player, he's not ready for this right now. It's just not. And so and at the time, it's a 3-point game at halftime. I'm thinking we need experience, as much experience as we can have on the court at that time. And that's the only reason he didn't get in the game tonight. I just felt more comfortable with, not that I don't have, just like I told him, hey, it's not a matter of not trusting you. It's just that I look out there and I see the beef they had. And we just don't have it right now. So we got to get in the weight room. That's one of the things we've been promoting, and really been stressing to our guys. Getting their proper rest because they're going to be logging a lot of minutes. And but that's why they didn't get more minutes. So that's why Keon or Christian or Jake, although we need to use those guys, I got to trust them to use them. But it was a nip and tuck game the whole time. It's really tough.
Coach, you talked about the 1-3-1 disrupting things. Obviously, that you couldn't get the dribble drive penetration like we're used to seeing. But also with Diedrich, the way he was being fronted, a simple entry pass was hard tonight. Yeah. How can you learn from that for future games when teams D you up this way?
Well, the high-low was there. We threw it to him a couple times. I thought we took some bad shots early in the game, and that we really took some real out of character. But that's what happens when you play against a very physical and very athletic team. And because they were really being physical with Diedrich, he wasn't able to just post guys up and move them up the lane. We did have a good high-low set going for a while, but when we have to move Diedrich, when we take, and our best high-low passer is Jamario, and he was on the bench, and so we did try to throw the high-low. We got an ISO there one time for Markel. Got late in the game, got a shot blocked, but I gotta get Markel to be more physical. He's got to be. He's one of the guys that can be physical, and that's one thing I need him to do more of. And that's why we were trying to go to him at that point in time. He doesn't even get a free throw. He's a guy that's got to get he's got to get 5 or 6 free throws a game. And in this game, that's what we needed from him, because that's one of the things we talked about. He was one of the few guys that I thought, he and Diedrich were the only 2 guys that actually he didn't match up with his guy, because his guy was probably 220 and 6'6". Then Jeremiah he's guarding a 6'6", 202, 250. You know what I mean? So it makes a difference. Like in the ring, it's like in a boxing match or a wrestling match. If the guy, if you're out of your weight class, it's going to be some problems. And so we've got to constantly use our quickness. And we did start. Jeremiah did just start attacking and beating it off the dribble. But we were hoping we could get it inside, get it reversed, then attack. And we did. We attacked. We threw it reverse, and we took it baseline, and we didn't get the call. Keon, he went in hard, great play on his part. Should have been an and one, it wasn't. That was a tough call there. I thought it was a goaltend. That should have been an and one. And those are tight games. It was like a 3-point game both times. But that's the way it goes. It happens that way, and we'll find another way to overcome this. Anybody, any questions? Yes, sir.
Coach, you've been averaging a lot of points somewhere north of 80, but now with the shortened rotation, Jeremiah actually mentioned that they were playing into your hands by slowing the game down. Is this a sign of things to come? You might have to slow it down, have fewer possessions per game, and rely on your defense more?
Well, again, this time you don't want to. This team is. I'm talking about SMU is built for half court play. And we played in their hand. That's why we got beat. You see what I mean? If we had, and when they forced us to play their game by slowing us up, when they went to the 1-3-1 and just packing it back defensively, and then we weren't making the outside shots. We shot 20% from threes. We played right into their hands. You're right. I thought, and they were able to control the tempo and control the flow of the game. And that's what the game is about. That's what sports is about. Who can force their will on the opposing team. And we just couldn't do that tonight. If we could have, again, we were hoping we could. Again, I thought that we were very slow in inbounding the ball and pushing it. But again, that's probably because fatigue. You're right. Probably fatigue comes into play at that point in time. Because Jeremiah is as good as anybody pushing the ball up the court. But we probably need to get him some rest there. I don't know if he had 40 minutes, but he showed a lot of heart. Any questions? Anybody else?
Coach, what then can you take away from this game and ahead of South Carolina?
Well, South Carolina is very similar to SMU. Very physical defensively, offensively as well. They're going to try to pound it inside on you. Just looking at here, in the paint, SMU was 22 with 22. So I thought that's an area where we would have been effective, but we weren't. So I really haven't watched much of South Carolina, but I know that's how they play. So my takeaway is we better find a way to get out in transition and get more easy baskets. We got 10 fast, 10 fast break points. To their 2. So tonight, we've got to find a way to get more, whether it's pressing. But again, you kind of you can't press but so much. So maybe that's where the bench has to come in. I'm like everybody else. I'm trying to figure out, what do we do best, and how do we continue to orchestrate how we get the most out of guys, and I hope our players don't hope they didn't. But I just thought tonight, again, it wasn't much of a. I think it took it out of us trying to. The pressing or the running didn't take it out. The physicality of the half-court game will wear on you, and that's where it wears on a guy like Diedrich. It doesn't wear so much on the perimeter guys as it does on the interior people. And that's where the size and the bulk comes into play.